man, I'm going to kill my old look at this show that I did. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to kill this look. Yeah, I'm coming. I mean, business.
Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy Williams Fitness back again with another video. We've got Quinton, is it Eriya? Is that what you say your surname? Eriya, sorry, aka Beastwood. So obviously we've been going back and forth over a few weeks now. I've obviously got you on the channel, and finally got some quiet time with you. That's not your Q&A time on Instagram, which is quality, by the way. It's the best question time ever. Now, I am personally a fan of you. I've followed you for quite some time. For those of you who are maybe new to you from last year, obviously joining your first pro debut, what could you tell us about your background in bodybuilding? What got you into bodybuilding, and sort of who almost sort of like was your role model or mentor that you looked up to that actually like bridged the gap for you to becoming a pro almost?
Okay. So I got into like weight training. Like I was weight training pretty much all my preteen, teenage life, but on and off. Like I'd train for like 1 month out of the year, and I'd like, I get results in that 1 month, and then I'd stop. And I just thought that your gains stay with you, right? And then I slowly, people would point out because I'd flex my arms, like your muscles getting soft. I'm like, oh shit. I'll work on it next year, So I was pretty on and off, but one of the main reasons I started was because, I grew up with all brothers, and one of my older brothers, his friends would they playfully beat me up and stuff. So I told them, like, when I'm older, I'm gonna whoop y'all asses, right? So I got in the weight room to get myself stronger, mainly like just to be able to fight. Of course, I should have said boxing classes or something. It still worked. I was stronger, and when I fought them, like I wouldn't lose. So it was kind of fun, but then I picked it up. I picked up weight training like permanently when I was 17, 18. And at that point, I just kind of wanted to start to build the physique and look good. I was going more for like a men's physique. I wasn't really into the big bodybuilding, but it just my goals continued to grow and grow. And now I am what I am.
So obviously you've competed on the scene for quite some time, and obviously one of those times was with Blessing. What was that experience like going up against Blessing? Basically on about obviously putting size on to beat up your brothers.
Okay, true.
Yeah. So obviously you've been on the scene for quite some time in the background. Obviously, last year sort of like catapulted you onto the platforms of social media, and obviously your name took off from there. But one of those times you competed against Blessing, what was that experience like going up against somebody who was already sort of big on the scene on Instagram, but not so much in the bodybuilding world?
So that was so I run my pro card naturally, right? And in Canada, the way that it worked with the federations, it was kind of weird. So the national winners, had the chance to compete at Worlds. So Worlds was quote unquote like a drug tested show. So everyone was supposed to be. So we didn't get our pro cards, although we won pro cards. We didn't get them till the end of the year. So we still had the opportunity to compete at Worlds and amateurs, right? So for me, I'm like, this is a show none of us had to do. But I wanted to see how I stacked up against the best in the world.
Yeah.
And of course, like I knew everybody was coming in fully loaded, but I just kind of wanted the experience, right? So I went there, and so I did Worlds. There's 2 of them. So because I won the overall in Canada, and I also won like the juniors. So I went to Worlds under 23, and I went to Worlds. So I saw Blessing. I met him in Spain, and I was in like all ages open, and I was in the super heavyweight class. I guess I weighed in like 220, right? So like 100 kilograms.
Yeah.
And I look around, like the 220 I was a lot different than everybody else because everyone was fucking massive. And Blessing, he was really nice, and like I guess he noticed that I was like a young guy. He noticed that wasn't like everybody else kind of, and he was very like respectful. He had a friend, like his coach with them. They were very nice to me. His coach actually did an interview with me somewhere on YouTube. But Yeah, so like we competed against each other. I think he came second to some Iranian guy, and I came eighth. So I beat two guys. I was pretty happy with that.
It's better than being last.
Oh man, like, well, they were bigger, but I think I just had much better conditioning.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was like I was
100%.
just outside, right? But it was still an amazing experience. Like he was like, that was 2 years ago, and he was the blessing was really good. So I think he'll do really well this year.
Have you got any
Ohio's
predictions?
has some heavy hitters.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Predictions for Ohio?
Yeah, yeah. What's your top
Oh,
three? Or first call out, maybe.
oh man, this is rough. This is rough. This is rough. You know, the hard thing about it is because I'm a bodybuilder.
You're
Some of
friends
these
with
guys
them.
I talk to them or I fought some of them. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to like, but
Come
of
on.
course,
You
there's the
said
favorites like
when
William Bonac.
we spoke, you
Yeah,
said it's open
yeah,
field.
yeah. It is. It is. Nah, but I'll tell you who is impressing the fuck out of me. Sergio Oliva Jr. Man, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I'm surprised people aren't like talking about him that much. Like he looks fucking good, and I think he's around my height. He's fucking big. It's gonna be scary. I think so.
Yeah, me and
I think he's like my dark horse.
yeah, me and Xavier from Desktop Bodybuilding, we did a podcast
Yeah.
yesterday, and we spoke about
Right.
Sergio for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was basically Xavier's underdog for the show, because obviously people are talking a lot about everyone's on the Ramy hype train, and obviously Bonac and Dexter's doing his thing, and a lot of people are talking about Patrick Moore this year.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of because he's still got he's got the mass and the size, but he's still got that that really nice tapered waist. So he brings something completely different. But like you say, Sergio is looking absolutely phenomenal, and obviously we're so much still got quite a few weeks to go, and I still think he's looking impressive already. I have seen some pictures of Ramy from Coach Tal. And Ramy's going to shock a few people if he gets that dialed in, which he's always struggled with. But it's going to be.
I think Ramy dialed in like even 90% wins the Olympia. Like he's a very hard guy. Like if he comes in crazy peeled, who the hell is going to beat him, right? Like he's just a hard guy to beat. But he's luckily for everybody else, he doesn't always nail it, and so it kind of leaves things open. Patrick Moore is impressive. Like he's, that tiny waist, big ass arms. Like he's impressive. I don't think they gave him a fair shake at the Olympics. Give him a better look. I'm sure they will, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think because he was new on the scene.
No, I think it's
Here we go. Yeah, I think with Patrick at the Olympia, I think because it was something new that came on the stage, and obviously being his Olympia debut, I think he probably did get overlooked quite a bit. But I think the expectation for Patrick this year is the bar's been raised. So So obviously, let's bring it back to you.
Okay.
Are you 2 weeks into prep now?
Yeah, 2 weeks in.
So what shows have you got confirmed this year that you're definitely doing?
So far, New York Pro. And I'll tell you the reason why I picked it, because there's a lot of like pro bodybuilders, even amateurs, who want to get their pro cards, and they look for these shows that are like, in Timbuktu, out there, like, crazy. They're gonna travel all these places, but they want like an easy win. And the way I see it, like, I know that aside from the Arnold's, because that goes by invitation, it wouldn't have given me enough time to improve in my off season.
Yeah.
Like New York Pro gives me enough time. And that's probably going to be the hardest show. Like just based on like how it is every year, like it's usually a pretty hard show. So for me, I chose that show because I want to know like how good I am. So if I'm against the best guys in the world at that level, and I could do very well, then I know where I stand. If I don't, then I know where I stand, right? So that's what it comes down to for me. Like I don't want no easy wins or no easy
Have you got anybody in mind that you want to like, say, as like mile markers to beat over the next, say, year, 2 years? Is it like, I need to beat Nathan D'Asher on one show. I need to beat Sergio Oliva. Do you have those kind of thoughts, or do you just focus on your art, your craft, and just think, I'll do my best and just hope for the best?
Sometimes I have thoughts like that, but it's for me, for the most part, I just try and focus on myself, and I think if I focus on that, like, like everything else will come into place. Uh, the only person, like, there's not really people that I'm too fixated on beating, but like, I do want to compete against certain people just to see kind of where I stand against them.
Yeah.
But it's not really about, for me, it's weird. I'm not really that competitive. Like, if I compete against one of my friends and I beat them, I'm going to feel bad. Like, that's just that happened to me in the amateurs. I beat one of my friends at a show, and like, the victory didn't feel that good to me. So
Really?
But yeah. But I enjoy, like, the fun aspect of being on stage and posing beside, like, certain person or whatever.
So who are you looking forward to actually being on stage with then? And say, if you could pick out of the modern day class that we've got, if you could pick, I don't know, 2 or 3 people that you'd love to be on a first call out with, just for the experience, not to like try and beat them, just for that experience, who would you pick?
Oh, it'd be cool. I think that people consider me to be an aesthetic bodybuilder.
Yeah,
I
100%.
think Patrick Moore is established as an aesthetic bodybuilder. I think that'd be a cool showdown. I compete against Samson Dauda. That's my dude. Going up against him again would be cool because he's bigger as well. So it'd also be like a good showdown, like me, myself versus him. He's an aesthetic bodybuilder. I'd love to compete against Dexter. And the thing is, like, yeah, like, fuck, man. Like, I was almost going to do Tampa Pro last year because I was nervous Dexter might retire. And I just wanted to compete against him. But it was in my best interest to just take a time off, right? So I just didn't do it.
I bet you're glad you didn't now.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. Like, it would have been a hard show. Yeah, man, he was good. But it would have been a hard show. And I'm glad, like, that rookie season was amazing for what it was, but I needed to just get back to the drawing board and work on what's next.
Absolutely killing it, brother. So obviously you do your little Q&As on Instagram. Those that follow me, those that subscribe to me, I highly recommend you join Beastwood's Instagram just for the question and answer time he does pretty much most days. They are the funniest shit I've ever seen. Honestly, I've seen some Q&As where people just answer, but you are so comical with it. You've got a lot of strange fans as well. Like, I've seen some really, I mean, they're loyal. They are loyal to the point, but some of the questions these guys that are asking you, I'm like, can you entertain them? Well, you do entertain them.
Man, they get crazy, but sometimes you got to put them in their place. But I know that usually all the answers that I have are probably gonna crack people up, so I just talk my shit.
So obviously you had your pro debut last year. What experience have you taken from that to put towards this year? Was there any major hurdles or anything to do with like your posing routine? Anything that you needed to say from any shows that you did last year that you need to dial in for this year? How was the prep going with regards to that?
Hello, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's what I so for my pro debut, like, I wasn't really at my best because we attempted the whole classic physique thing. It didn't work, so we had to start filling me back up days before. So we had to eat a lot of carbs to kind of revive my physique because I was very flat. I looked really bad 5 days out. So eating all those carbs made me a lot more watery. And my coach, he's an amazing coach, and he's very, like, big on health as well. So he's not the kind of guy that's going to flush me with diuretics, right? So I wasn't as sharp as I could have been. But that was okay because even the way I showed up, I still did really well. I came 5th. I'm happy with that. But that's why I did Vancouver, because I knew that I could have came in sharp, and I wanted to present like a better package to the world.
Yeah.
So I think now we know 100% is bodybuilding. So with just one goal in mind, there's nothing that's going to kind of like take me off of that. Nothing's going to push me astray. So with that being said, I think this prep's going to be a lot more smooth for the last couple of weeks. I mean, it'll be hard, but So I think my conditioning should be better. And this prep I've started, I started last year at 13 weeks. I started this one at 17. So, everything, I think I have a lot more muscle. I'm leaner at a significantly higher weight this time. So I think my posing needs a lot of work though. I think
Yeah.
that one of the judges told me I would have beat the fourth place guy because I messed up my back lat spread pose. I didn't spread out enough. So he told me, one of the judges came up to me the next day at the expo and was like, look, man, if you fix that pose, if you did it right, you lost by 1 point, you would have beat that guy. So I'm like, it is what it is, right? But,
I
for
suppose it's
me,
good to get the constructive criticism rather than just
yeah.
them dismiss you and walk away. At least you've got something to take away from that and work on, I suppose. Yeah. So
Yes,
what are you
exactly.
doing
So
with
that's it. So in
regards
Vancouver,
to?
I adjusted that. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
go on, man. That's all good.
So what you're doing with regards to your posing routine, is it you just practicing the mandatories mainly, or are you doing anything creative with regards to your actual showpiece itself?
Mm-hmm. So I haven't gotten the person yet, but I'm gonna have somebody that's gonna be on my ass. Whether it's he's probably gonna be a posing coach or a good friend of mine, to just make sure that I get it done. Because it's just late last year. It was just a matter of laziness. Sometimes I wouldn't practice the routine enough, and I wouldn't work on the It's weird. I did more mandatory practice heading into Toronto. In Toronto, my muscles were seizing up when I got off stage. I practiced less heading into Vancouver, and I held the poses no problem. So it's kind of weird, but I definitely want to make sure my transitions are good. I want to have a great routine for the fans. So yeah.
Awesome. So obviously in your amateur career, you were obviously natural. Are you still natural?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Finally, someone's honest. I was thinking, should I ask him? I'm thinking, fuck it, just ask him.
I'm also I'm natty vegan, man.
Natty vegan. So I've got some questions from some of my followers. And when I posted the question thing, I was slightly concerned that your fans would jump on and I was going to get asked for dick pics and God knows what else. The main one that came up a lot was, are you single?
Really?
Yeah. I had 19 people wanted to know if you were single. All male as well. Not one female.
Wait, all male?
All male.
Of course.
I can't even link them to you. There's no women. I can't even just send you DMs.
This is horrible, man. Oh yeah, but I'm pretty single. I'm single.
Pretty single.
No, I'm joking. I'm single. I'm just in a place right now where I'm just focusing on my shit. I don't really care about being with anybody. I find that a lot of times, you when you do what I do, when you're
There we go.
Sorry, what was the last thing you heard?
Obviously finding that, a good woman's hard to come by, basically.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm very particular with my needs because of, I'm not a typical person. Most people work a day job and whatever, a 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. My whole day surrounds around me being a bodybuilder. My whole year surrounds around me being a bodybuilder. My goals are always in place. I'm always working towards something, even when I'm not. So it's I need a very particular person. I need somebody that can complement my lifestyle, and I also need to be able to complement their lifestyle. So,
okay. Yeah. One of the questions was, "What's your favorite cheat meal?"
So, honestly, right now I'm just 11 pounds down from my off-season weight. So off-season I was force feeding. I was eating a lot of food, and it kind of killed my joy of food. Right? I've been eating for function for so long, and it got to a point where I don't necessarily have a favorite cheat meal. I eat cheat meals more, so it's okay, I need more calories. I had one yesterday. My coach told me to get a burger and fries, so I did it. But it was I don't know. It's weird. Whether it was increased rice or a cheat meal, I would have been just as happy. So I think maybe I'll have a better answer in 2 months when I'm starving.
One of the questions was Subway or Papa John's.
Papa John, is that a pizza place?
Yeah. I'm presuming it's going to have to be Subway then.
You know what, man? Yeah, I used to hate Subway, but there was this one sub that I tried this past summer, and I liked it. So Subway.
Okay. A lot of people have been asking about training routines, this sort of thing. So to sum it up, do you do like a split routine? Do you do a push-pull? What sort of, rather than going into loads of detail about what you do, brief synopsis of your week for training. What does that look like?
Yeah. Monday back, Tuesday chest, Wednesday legs, Thursday rest, Friday shoulders, Saturday arms, Sunday rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some weird questions, mate, honestly. This question came up in the Kenny KO interview I did. I don't know. I think somebody's probably seen that and wanted me to do it again. Dicks for hands or dicks for fingers?
Wait, sorry, what was that?
The question was, would you prefer dicks for hands or dicks for fingers?
Dick for hands?
Yeah, so the hand is a whole dick or each finger is a dick.
Oh my God. It's like, man. I don't know, dick for fingers. Because if you have a dick for hands, you can't use, you can't pick shit up. You just be like.
Kenny said dicks for hands because he could go ham on girls, so I don't know.
Oh my God.
So his mind's working.
Crazy.
So who is your Arnold Classic Ohio predictions then for first? Obviously you said Sergio to win.
Oh man, it's hard because if Rami shows up on point, it would be very hard to beat him. But again, we haven't seen Sergio in over a year, so he could really impress people. Bonac is really good. Yeah, I'm very I don't know. I'm too open-minded to make a prediction on one person.
Yep.
But I do think that for sure, as I said before, Sergio Oliva will surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it's between Rami, Bonac, Sergio, and who else is there?
Patrick Moore.
I know I saw the list, but
Cedric, Dexter. I'm just trying to think who I picked in my top 5. Nathan Diash is there as well. Josh might be there. I don't know if he's actually fully confirmed yet because he's still got some medical issues, hasn't he, from that tumor situation he had. So I'm not sure if he's fully confirmed for that. It'd be cool to see him there, even if he's not fully dialed in. It'd be nice to see him on stage. Just trying to think. There's a few others there. Victor Martinez, he's back on the scene. Johnny Jackson.
Oh, right. I think, man, if Cedric could show up like crazy peeled, I don't know. I don't think we've ever seen him like crazy peeled.
Yeah.
If he could, that would be he'd be very hard to beat because he's so aesthetic. He has such amazing musculature. He's an incredible bodybuilder. He's one of the guys that I look up to because he has a similar stature. He's always able. Sorry?
He's one of Arnold's favorites anyway, isn't he?
Oh yeah. If he could come in crazy peeled any show, I think he'd win. So that'd be he's also a kind of a dark horse.
Okay, one of the questions was, who currently in the industry has mentored you the most?
Dorian Hamilton and Antoine Vaillant. They brought me in pretty much when I was I was natural. I was 2 weeks into using a cyclist, I think something like that. And I just met Antoine, and Antoine like myself and Dorian followed each other, and he told Antoine, he was like, yo, this kid turned pro naturally. And Antoine was like, what? He was very impressed. So then he ended up taking down my number. He followed me, and that's pretty much like what got me started. So they really helped me out all throughout my whole journey of chasing, like, open bodybuilding. Because before like spring of 2018, the idea of competing in the open was very scary to me. It just felt like something so out of reach. It felt like something so hard to accomplish, just to be able to hang in there with the big guys in the open. So even when I did my debut last year, like, I didn't know if I was going to come in dead last. I don't know. I wanted to come in first of all, but I didn't know where I stood. So when I actually ended up placing fifth, I was like just so shocked. I'm like, wow, I did it. Like, that was me that did that, So I was just like, I was impressed with myself.
You did kill it there, brother. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was, obviously, after your pro debut, you sort of went viral in the bodybuilding world with regards to like news outlets. And a lot of them, including myself, I've put you down and maybe put you on a pedestal for being a future Mr. Olympia. How does that like sort of translate with you? And how do you like deal with that sort of pressure maybe? Do you feel that there's any pressure to actually, obviously that's probably something you want to obtain in the future anyway, but how does that translate with you?
Yeah. Well, like, I'm an emotional guy. When I hear good things about myself, like that whole weekend, like, it was hard for me. I kept tearing up when I read stuff. It was very, it motivates me, inspired me, and it shows me because, of course, like, sometimes I can look in the mirror and I could tell myself I look good, but the people that know about it, the people that cover bodybuilding, they have like a more unbiased, and they have like better education when it comes to that stuff. So they're telling me, like, listen, like, you stay on this path, you keep doing this, like, you could potentially be a future Mr. Olympia. Like, I know it just kind of reconfirms that I'm doing what I need to do. So if any, like, I don't feel any pressure. Like, maybe heading into a show, I think like Toronto Pro, all my amateur shows, I was pretty much like a nobody, like, locally people would know me, but like, nobody's really talking like that. So it was kind of different having, these different YouTube channels talking to me, and I was getting interviewed. So that was like, I'm like, holy shit, what if all these people are having high hopes of me and I do completely shit, But it just motivates me.
No pressure, brother, no pressure.
No, but it motivates me. But it's just closer to the actual show. But I think everybody feels pressure when they're close to the show. So it's nothing crazy.
Awesome. Is there anything that you want to sign off to with regards to my followers? Is there anything that you want to pass on or say with regards to anything, social media, Redcon 1, anything?
Redcon 1, man, it's an amazing company, and I was honored to be brought on to the team, and plan to make them look really good this year. And the CEO, Aaron Sigerman, like, man, he's a beast. He's a beast, and he's accomplished so much. He's got a lot of things done, and I just like to continue to grow the company. So I'm just excited to see what this year has to bring, and hopefully I can make the team happy.
I think you already have, to be fair, brother. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, but just get the job done.
Yeah.
I noticed you posted today as well, and I think Sergio shared it, didn't he? And it was basically something along the lines of people that keep saying, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And that was what you said, and the statement you made was something that I actually say to myself. I set myself goals and objectives. I complete them. I tell nobody. I achieve them, and then I move on to the next one. And I just thought it was straight. It was to the point and almost poetic. That you were, it wasn't so much like you were calling people out. It was basically just shut the fuck up, get the job done, and move on. And I just thought that was beautiful. I might even put that little clip on this.
This is just something else I wanted to get off my chest. If you're working hard towards whatever it is that you're working towards, you ain't got to tell everybody, man. Like, we can see that you're working hard. Like, you don't need to let us know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the hard work happens when you are doing the act of working hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not when you're talking. So talking isn't working hard. You could actually do nothing and talk about working hard, and that means you're not working hard. You're just talking about it. So if you want people to think you're a hard worker, you want a certain result, just get to work and shut the fuck up. All right? Good night, guys.
Oh yeah, oh thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, honestly, like you might find like you know in my Q&As or you know in my posts, I don't speak highly of myself, and it's because I think very highly of myself in a very healthy way, but I'm not conceited, and I think that especially with bodybuilding, like you know, with anything really, man, you just like if you want a result, you got to work for it, right? Like speaking or telling people like, man, I'm gonna kill it this year, like, oh man, somebody, I don't know, this guy probably won't watch the interview because I don't think he likes me. But some dude, I ain't gonna say no names, right? I ain't gonna
Say his name.
But
Text
he
me.
approached me at Toronto Bro, and he was talking about like, man, I'm gonna kill my old look at this show that I did. And I'm like, I told him he looked good at the show. I thought he looked good. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. I'm gonna kill this look. Yeah, I'm coming. I mean, business. It's like, okay. And it's like I ended up beating the guy. So it's like, you know, like it doesn't matter how cocky you are, it doesn't matter how good you think you are, especially pertaining to bodybuilding, like our posing, your conditioning, your shape on stage does the talking. It doesn't matter how good you fucking want to be. Like, so you'll never hear me say I will, just because I believe in humility. I'll never say I want to beat that guy or I'm going to beat that guy because fuck, I don't know. What if the judges like his look better? You know what I'm saying? So the way I see it, keep your mouth shut and get to work. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But that experience was like, it was kind of annoying. And between me and you, I really wanted to beat that guy because of that, because I felt like he approached me in a very like kind of condescending way, and I didn't like that.
Very arrogant as well, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Funny enough, last year I got a lot of like, with a lot of guys like in the show I did in Toronto that were like, you know, talking poorly of me, saying, "Oh man, he's little, he's small," you know, because I was gonna do classic. He's not good in the open. Maybe in a couple of years. A lot of guys saying that shit. It came back to me. People showed me screenshots. But it's just funny, you know what I mean? How things kind of play out.
Have you spoke to any of these or put them on blast?
No, because like there's no need, because the thing is like it's the way I see it. All right, and it's funny. Frank McGrath made a post yesterday about because people are talking shit under his page, and the people that talk shit are like nobodies essentially. Like nobody that's doing something good, nobody that's great at anything will bash you or talk shit about you. The thing is, nobody that's better than you is going to put you down or is going to talk poorly about you. Like the best guys in the game are not going to talk, or they're not going to play me down or anybody else, because they're focused on their craft. They're focused on getting better. So the way I see it, like those people, the people that are negative like that, like they probably just don't think they're that great, and it's probably just a projection of how they feel about themselves.
Insecurities.
And they put that on other people. Oh yeah, but yeah.
It's a fickle world. It's very fickle. I suppose that sort of transcends with obviously Phil Heath. Patrick Moore did a few days training with Phil, and obviously I don't know whether that was Phil eyeing him up for a future competition. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe giving him some bad advices like pumping iron.
Oh man, I don't think. I think he wants to help him, because I thought they're good friends. He saw pictures of them together at Patrick's wedding. So Phil's at his wedding, I think. So, and by the time Patrick is at his absolute best, Phil will probably be gone already, right?
Yeah.
Because bodybuilding, it takes time, right? Like I think Patrick looks incredible, but you know, in 2 years he's gonna look even better, right? In 2 years, Phil might be done. So
true, very true.
I don't think he's.
So to sum up, then, so obviously you definitely do the New York Pro. You've obviously started your prep. Was it an extra 4 or 5 weeks early?
Yeah, extra
give
4
them
weeks
enough
early.
time to come in your sort of your best condition ever, really, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anything you want to sign off with then, brother?
Man.
Any motivational quote?
Okay. All right, let's go. All right. Listen, guys, anybody watching, like aspiring bodybuilders, people that just want to see results in the gym or whatever it is, just keep working and just know that nothing is impossible. Well, a lot of things are impossible. A lot of things, but a lot of things aren't out of reach, even though they might seem out of reach. So just be consistent, keep working hard, and you might impress yourself with what you're able to accomplish.
Perfect.
All right.
Quinton, thank you so much, brother, for coming on the channel. Really appreciate it. We'll have to get you back on probably a few weeks out from the New York Pro, if that's cool with you, brother.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Okay, on that note, guys, I've been me, you've been you. Peace.
All right, take care, man.